team to join Kenyatta University community that is made up of scholars, parents, professors, and even those people who are going to make sure that your stay here is fruitful. I want to recognize members of university management, executive deans of schools, professors, directors of various directorates and campuses, chairpersons of departments and other senators, members of the faculty present, KUSA executive leadership, and Congress persons present, and all who are here to join and to help me welcome the new members of Kenyatta University community. First of all, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I, first of all, before I continue, want to introduce some of the people who will be working with you, some of the people who are going to make sure that your arrival here is going to be fruitful. So, I would like to request very quickly to have members of my management come forward so that the new students can see you. We can just go down there. You can go down there. And I need, yeah.
Good morning. It is the second day of September 2025 and the first Tuesday, probably the first Tuesday that we're having Biashara Tuesday right here on KUTV, a show that brings you up to date on matters politics, especially on matters business, what concerns you as a business person, as an entrepreneur. How well do you manage your business? How do you become the best version of yourself in terms of managing your business, in terms of making yourself a better individual? So if you're new to this show, that is what we do on Biashara Tuesday right here on KUTV Rise today. So much in store for you this morning. I'm so excited because it's a day when a lot is happening. A lot is happening, from education to matters politics to matters business. Not to forget that Anyango Sylvia will be guiding these discussions from this moment all the way to 10 a.m. in the morning. So it's sure a full packed conversation. So what you've just been listening to your screens before we got here this moment was the matriculation ceremony of Kenyatta University first years, that is the year 2025-2026. So the first years were joining campus from 2 weeks ago. They were coming in stages, in different stages, and finally all of them managed to be in campus by last week. The matriculation ceremony was held on Friday. So we'll be listening to more of the speeches, or more of what our Vice Chancellor, that is Professor Wainaina, had to say on the matriculation ceremony of the first years, the year 2025-2026. So that is what has been going on in your screens. And I've mentioned that we'll be having a packed conversation, that is a discussion from this moment all the way to 10 a.m. One of the conversations we'll be having this morning is we'll be joined by Kibaki Mwoki, who will be helping us talk about AI, quantum, and the future of humanity. And it deals with so many things. He deals with so many things in terms of research and what AI and quantum analysis is concerned, both in health, agriculture, in climate, and all those in business research and all those. But this morning we'll be focusing on the health sector, because there's a very interesting part that I've seen that we need to clarify. Creating a twin, a human being twin, a virtual, or should we say using AI to create something that is a twin to human beings in order to create a world where it's free of diseases. You know, if you are someone who is keen on controversial theories, you understand that something that is told of the health sector is that it is a multi-billion investment or business, where most of the time a disease is created so that a cure can be created. And now this is someone who is intending to have a world free of diseases, really creating cure. You've heard of these theories that, you know, there is cure to cancer, there is cure to AIDS, but those people who are in control are not willing to release the cure because it won't be profitable anymore. So those are among the questions that we'll be asking. What is his view on the same? So that is a conversation that we'll be having this morning on the launch. Also this morning, we'll be joined by very own Bluesman Hassan and Ojuang Mariam, who are products of Kenyatta University Rise Today or Kenyatta University, KUTV, Biashara Tuesday, Art and Culture Monday, all intertwined. So we'll be having conversations surrounding newspaper review, that is the state of our nation. And just like I've mentioned that, let me just mention a quick of what we have on our dailies this morning. If you're a Kenyan, you know what is going on in the country right now. We have a wave of members of county assemblies wanting to impeach their governors, from Isiolo to, is it Kericho? And currently we are in Nairobi. Homa imefika Nairobi. So if you are keen in Kenya, you will understand that this is a wave that is currently rising. Ukifanya makosa kidogo, MCAs wanakwambia, you know what, we can take you home. Or is it really something that is getting our governors or the leaders of the counties, holding them accountable, or is it a business? Because you all know that for someone to be impeached, it is sponsored. Not my words. Also, don't come for me. We've had members of the parliament saying that it's a shady business in parliaments. So is it really holding leaders accountable, or is it a business? Because if we look at the Daily Nation this morning, it says the biggest headline given prominence on the Daily Nation this morning is Raila fights to rescue Sakaja. And funny enough, or ironically, Sakaja was elected under the UDA, but right now he is seeking assistance from ODM leader Raila Odinga. Is it because the ODM has the majority in the county assembly? In terms of, that is, members of county assembly, most of them are coming from the Orange Democratic Party or Orange Democratic Movement. Is it for that reason, or is it for other reasons? Because right now nothing is black, neither is anything white. We all on gray because of the broad-based government. You can't really know what is going on. So that is given prominence on the Daily Nation stories surrounding Sakaja. It's also given prominence on Taifa Leo. If you can get a copy, you'll also see the same story over there. So we also have other stories that are given prominence. Matters education. We have schools send students home as state delays wearing funds. This is just the second week of third term. And Makiu, third term is the shortest term, but apparently students can't stay in school. Last term, we saw students go home early. The schools were closed earlier because of shortage of capitation. And right now, they're already on their way back home. So if you have not paid your school fees, get ready for receiving your child at home, because contrary to what Mbadi says, that the government is releasing around 23 billion Kenyan shillings for school capitation. Teachers or schools or principals are having a different opinion on the same. So schools, students might be going home over this week for collection of school fees. I wonder if education is still free in this country. Anyway, that is on the Daily Nation. More stories over there. We have governors defy Ruto on public tenders. That story is on page 6. We have more houses torched in Mau, Narok clashes. That story is on page 10 of the Daily Nation. And moving on to the Star. The Star talking of completely different stories from what is currently trending in the country. We have what is given prominence is state farms bleed public coffers dry. And these are parastatals that are probably bankrupt because they can't function by themselves and that they are driven by your taxes, by your money, just so you know. So leading the team is KBC, that is Kenya Broadcasting Company. It's leading where it's Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Sorry, we have Ketraco, Post Bank, NOC, Postal Corporation, Sony Sugar, Rivertex, KNTC, Moroni Sugar, Nzoia Sugar, Kenya Petroleum, and the new KCC. So it's reading billions, all from 89 billion KBC to 1.6 billion KCC. So they are currently being run wanapewa msaada na serikali because they apparently can't run on their own. So that story is on the Star on page 4 and 5. Another story given prominence there is Rehema's passion for trade started a survival tactic. That is a story on business, or it's a feature story on business. We have private hospitals where your wallet gets surgery before you do. That is quite interesting. This is the pain that patients face when going to hospitals. If you're having the social health, if you're using SHA, I'm not sure if SHA really works, so I'm not at a better position of saying whether it's working or not because I've not gone to the hospital using SHA so far. So most people opt for private hospitals where probably they'll get faster services. You all know it's like there's a course that nurses in public hospitals go through. There's a unit of kiburi flani. So sometimes people tend not to go to private public hospitals for that reasons, or for lengthy procedures. You know, you're supposed to go to a certain department, go pay for what. I've taken some of my family members to public hospitals and it's not an easy job. So most people shift to private hospitals, which apparently are very much expensive. So healthcare in this country is something that needs to be taken care of, despite the fact that right now we are having problems with our CS, that is Eden Duale, concerning all the fraudulent activities regarding SHA, regarding deployment of students to go for their internships and all that. So that is something we'll be also looking at with my panelists this morning. We have Kenya Police Service, the most complained about arm of the NPS. You know why. And scientists at Calro multiply cassava seeds 100-fold. That is something to do with tech in agribusiness. So that is something that we shall also talk about in our conversations this morning. So that is on the dailies that we have this morning. More of it will be coming over. We'll be having also the bold newspaper, that is the Standard. But right now, I want us to take a look at what is happening on our roads and the weather. All right, now it is 53 minutes past 7. It is 53 minutes past 7 a.m. And right now I am looking at the traffic in Nairobi. All the roads that I'm looking at, if I zoom in, there is only problem on Thika Road. That is as expected. that is from Roysambo, that is from TRM, that is Thika Road Mall, all the way to Pangani Interchange. And this is affecting those who are coming from Kiambu Road. If I look at other tributaries leading to town or other roads leading to town, most of them are clear, nothing to report on, except those coming from Langata Road joining Mombasa Road. Those are the only spots that I'm seeing stretches of red, and those who are coming also from Valley Road joining Mombasa Road. Those are the areas that I'm seeing traces of red. And also, if you will be joining town from, is it railways, that stretch there, those are the only roads that I'm seeing wide stretches of red. Thika Road, I think there's a problem because it is very, the traffic is moving very slow. So those are the areas that I'm seeing slow down at this moment. Nothing much to report about in other areas. That is Westlands, that is those people are coming from Gong. I think most people are now shifting to work from home. Last week I saw someone post on social media that if you're still going to town to work, you need to work hard. And I don't know, the person was saying that I will not read that. You will find that somewhere. It's surrounding the theft that deals with the devil's breath. The one that someone, I don't know, they breathe on you or whatever happens, and then you lose consciousness, and in one moment they're telling you nipe simu, and you are giving it voluntarily. So it was discussions around that, and they're saying that if you're still going to town for work every day, you need to work hard. I don't know how true that is. Anyway, on the weather situation this morning, today we are focusing on Kenya Met Department, and they're saying this is the weather forecast from today, the 2nd of September, to the 8th, that is in 7 days. They're saying rainfall is expected to continue in the Lake Victoria Basin, Rift Valley, Western and Central Highlands, and parts of coastal regions. So if you're in Nairobi, that is the central region, little to no rainfall is expected, and cold and cloudy conditions will intermittently affect parts of the Central Highlands, Western Kenya, the Southeastern Lowlands, and the Rift Valley. If we talk about the temperatures, high daytime temperatures of above 30 degrees Celsius are expected over much of northwestern and northeastern Kenya. Temperatures at night, chilly nights with minimum temperatures of below 10 degrees Celsius are likely in parts of the highlands east of the Rift Valley, the central Rift Valley, and areas surrounding Kilimanjaro. So, your weather si ya watu wawili. Make sure you get sweaters and coffee for that weather. And we have strong winds, speeds exceeding 25 knots will affect the coast and Kenya's territorial waters, southeastern lowlands, northeastern and northwestern Kenya. So that is the weather outlook on most parts of the country, and it's grouped in regions, and that's according to Kenya Met Department. I always say it's probably the only working department in this country. And right now, I want us to, I mentioned earlier that we had matriculation ceremony. That's what we had been looking at before we began the introduction of this segment right now. So I want us to have a look at what the DVC had to say, what the KUSA office had to say. That's the VC, that is Washeke Wainaina, not Washeke Wainaina. Professor Wainaina, sorry. The other one was Washeke Wanjohi. This one is Professor Paul K. Wainaina. So we'll be having a look at that. And as we listen to that, it will be helping us get ready for a discussion that I have mentioned earlier, that is AI in the health sector. So stay tuned for more of that after listening to what the matriculation ceremony had for us.
The people there know them. It is you. These are the people who are supporting the management of the mighty university that is Kenyatta University. So I would like each of them to say the name, what he's doing for Kenyatta University, just that, very quickly.
Good morning. My name is Mwai Samuel. I'm the Chief Finance Officer. We normally maintain university financial records.
My name is Professor Mildred Nawiri, the Acting Registrar Corporate Affairs. Welcome to Kenyatta University.
Good morning. My name is Professor Paul Gashanja, the Registrar in charge of Administration and Finance.
Good morning. My name is Professor Michael Gichero, representing Registrar in charge of Research, Innovation and Outreach. Welcome to Kenyatta University.
Professor Bernard Kivunge is my name, the Registrar Academics. Most welcome.
Good morning. My name is Professor Joseph Geranwa. I'm standing in for Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Outreach. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Professor Paul Okemo. I'm the Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration and Finance. Thank you.
Good morning, students again. My name is Professor Washeke Wanjohi, the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Academic and a Professor of Plant Pathology.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can go back. And I want to see the executive deans, the 7 executive deans. Please come forward. Let's be faster. And the KUSA government, the executive should be ready. So each of you belong to a school. Currently we have 7 schools, and therefore the people you see here are the ones who are going to take care of you at that level. So you can introduce yourself.
Good morning. I am Professor David Minja, Executive Dean, School of Law, Arts and Social Sciences. Welcome to Kenyatta University.
Good morning. I'm Professor Ondigi Samson, Executive Dean, School of Education and Lifelong Learning. Welcome to the school and welcome to Kenyatta University. My department is just what you are seeing next there. Thank you.
Good morning. Yes, my name is Professor Matthew Pierre Ngugi, the Executive Dean, School of Pure and Applied Sciences. Welcome to Kenyatta University.
Good morning. I am Professor Perez Onono. I'm the Executive Dean, School of Business, Economics and Tourism. Welcome to KU.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Ken Iloka, standing in for the Executive Dean, School of Engineering and Architecture. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is B.M. Okelo Agina, Executive Dean, School of Air Sciences. You are most welcome to Kenyatta University.
So, thank you. Thank you. You can go back. The young people who are coming here, in KU, we have my administration. We can call it my government, but we also have a student government. That is how democratic we are. Students, your colleagues, who are going also to take care of you. So this is the executive team. I would like them to introduce themselves and what they do, what position, and then the chairman, I don't know whether it's the chairman or the president, is going to actually take 2 minutes to say who he is and what they do. 2 minutes. So first of all, introduction of the members of your executive, and then 2 minutes to address your colleague. Yeah. So I think let's start. You'll be the last one so that you can talk. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good morning. I'm Sylvester Munga, Congressman, School of Agriculture.
Good morning. I'm Kelvin Sang from School of Engineering, 5th year, Congressman Urwenzori.
Oh, good morning. I'm Masawa Gray, School of Business, 4th year, representing Osabara.
Good morning. My name is Ezekiel Sosio, Congressperson, Hospitality and Tourism.
Good morning. My name is Covenant Owiti, the Congressperson to the Christian Union.
Good morning. I'm Solito Iseth, Congressperson, School of Law.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Gray, the Congressman Nyandarua Mfumbiro Hostels. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Laureen Teka, Female Congressperson, School of Law.
Hello everyone, I'm Awol Igwe from the Postgraduate School. I'm Mr. KU.
Good morning. It is Robert Ouko, the School Congressperson, School of Agriculture.
Good morning. My name is Calvin Kowang, the School Congressperson, School of Law in Parklands.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sweet Justus, the Kitui Campus Chairperson in School of Agriculture. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Masten Ogweno. I'm the Congressperson for Nyayo 3 and as well the Clerk of the Congress. Welcome to KU.
Very brief.
Good morning, everyone. My name is James Okela Yugi, the Congressperson, School of Agriculture and Environmental Science. Karibuni sana KU.
Good morning. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kwa wale wa Islam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Juma Subira Mdigo, Congressperson, Muslim Association of Kenyatta University.
Good morning. My name is Hilda Njeri, representing School of Law, Arts and Social Sciences. Karibuni sana to the top university.
Good morning. Warembo, hi. I'm Anastasia Nduta, representing all ladies residing outside campus. Karibuni sana KU.
Good morning, I'm Umulkhair Bishar. I'm the Academic Secretary in charge of Academic, Library and Bookshop. Welcome to the Premium University.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tobias Otieno Yare, the Congressperson, School of Engineering, and also the Speaker of Kenyatta University. Welcome to the University of our times. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kelvin Kimani. I am the Chairperson, Parklands Campus, and the Chair of Chairs, who is the Separate Campus Representative to the Student Governing Council. Karibuni sana.
Good morning, our first years. My name is Zado Kokot Nyakwaka. I'm the Secretary General
the voice of comrades. Karibu KU.
Good morning. My name is Glenn Karani Gikundi. I'm the KUSA chairman or the KUSA president. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for making to Kenyatta University and welcome you to the Premier University. As KUSA, by now you are a default member of KUSA, and we have different levels of leadership. Our offices are in BSSC, room 144. You can meet us there. Due to the constraints of time, at 4 we have another program. There are 2 executive student leaders who are not here, the organizing secretary and the vice president. They're organizing the bash for you in the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Katika mitindo ya kipwani hapa KU TV. Yaani tunapozungumzia mitindo ya kipwani basi unaona napigwa na mawimbi makali sana ya baharini kutoka katika ufuo wa hoteli moja inayofahamika kama North Coast Beach Hotel, ambao ndio wadhamini wa kipindi hiki cha mitindo ya kipwani. Penzi mtazamaji, kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hutakosa kupata mapishi ya vyakula vya kipwani. Yaani hapa tunazungumzia vyakula vilivyokolezwa na kukorombezwa. Iliki, karafuu, abdalasini, samaki wa baharini, vyakula vilivyopikwa na kusukwa kwa kutumia nazi. Bila kusahau mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja, mazungumzo ya kusisimua na wataalam tofauti, waandishi wa vitabu waliobobea, watunzi wa kuhani mashairi. Bila kusahau mpenzi mtazamaji, taratibu zetu za tarabu na chakacha. Yaani pale ni pale ambapo viuno vya wanawake vinazungushwa kisawasawa. Kama panga boy za trekta ndani ya KU TV mitindo ya kipwani. Ukiwa nami na hodha wako Waridi Tamu. Usiakose matamu jamani.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele. Welcome back. We are now on the lounge and it's interesting. Just before we get on that, we have Asachi who is following us on social media saying, "Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Asachi. Closely following the newspaper review from Ngong Road. Looking forward to what have you in store for us today on Biashara Tuesday." And this is what we have for you here on Biashara Tuesday. It's a conversation on AI, quantum, and the future of humanity. That is specifically in the area or in the sector of health, in the health sector. Joining us this morning is Kibaki Mwoki, who is a machine learning engineer, founder of Chem AI, innovator at the frontier of AI and quantum computing. So he's joining us this morning. Dear viewers, allow me to introduce Mwoki. Mwoki, karibu sana on our broadcast this morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's good to have you. So you can just say hi to our viewers back at home and briefly tell us what you do.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kibaki Mwoki. I am the founder and the CEO of Chem AI. Chem AI is a tech frontier company dealing with the intersection of quantum technology and artificial intelligence. Yeah.
All right. So what areas do you cover? Because today we are majorly focusing on health. What other areas do you focus on?
Okay, at Chem AI, we have a bigger vision whereby we want to solve human existential crisis by using and utilizing technology. Yeah, but apparently we are measuring on healthcare. And on healthcare, we are working towards developing a digital twin version of the human body. Yeah, simulate the real human body, but in a digital version, rather than having the tissues and stuff. Now we do it in a digital way.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you have a background in computer science, forensic science, and computer engineering rather than forensic science. So how did you come up with this idea of now I want to venture in AI?
Yeah, actually it's been really a roller coaster. It just didn't happen overnight. Yeah, while growing up, I really wanted to make something out of myself. Yeah, and I really saw technology was quite something for me. Yeah, so once I joined Kenyatta University, I was called for IT. Then I changed to petroleum engineering. Then I went to forensic science. All this trying to search and find where I can fit. Yeah, and then along the way, I also joined computer science. Yeah, and I can say really both forensic science and computer science have been an inspiration for me because forensic science, the biology part, that has led to the growth of the idea and the vision of the human twin. And now computer science applying the concept of machine learning and engineering to intersect the two and come up with a real life solution.
All right.
Yeah.
You've mentioned quite a journey from petroleum to... So how did you find it? Because most of the time you get students going to campus because it's something that they were told by their parents, go do this, go do this. So how did you fight that?
Yeah, actually, when I was applying for courses to my university, my dad told me, you have your free will. Just choose what you want to do. It's your life, you know? Yeah, and then I started searching. Initially, I wanted to do medicine. Yeah, but you know, coups and stuff, they didn't favor me. So I ended up in petroleum engineering. Then on my first year, I really had a lot of conflict in me. Yeah, and one day, we went for a long holiday. I was in the farm. And I was really thinking to myself, can I make something out of this? And then I decided to change. So I came back to school. And I had a friend who had told me about forensic science earlier on. Then I said, let me give it a shot. Yeah, so I ended up changing again to forensic science. Yeah.
So this is a journey of how many years?
Now I'm in my final year, both the forensic science and computer science. Yeah.
That's very interesting because at your final year and you've already began a company. So most of the time when we have a young person come up with a brilliant idea, there's always the challenge they face when it comes to now bringing this idea to light and pitching it to potential investors or potential clients, probably because of age sometimes. And sometimes it's just because, you know, someone looks at you and is like, no, you are not qualified enough. So how do you handle these steps or these challenges?
Yeah, actually, I think that has been a myth because considering I'm apparently 22 and this is whereby I'm at the apex of my energy. So at this point in time, I have the most of brain work. I can handle a lot of things at the same time. Yeah, and it's been, okay, we can say it's a challenge, but again, it's an opportunity. When people say you can do this and you have the chance to do, so you prove them wrong. But it's not really about proving them wrong, but just so you know, like now I have a lot of energy, I have time. Maybe the challenge could be finance, but I have the time, I have the energy, so I can do it. It's not about age, it's about what you can do at where you are at that point in time. Yeah.
How has it worked for you in terms of doing the pitching, especially?
Yeah, actually, about pitching.
Yeah, because this is something new. I'm looking at it in this perspective. It is something new. In fact, for me personally, I heard of a human twin and I'm like, okay. Hold on, a human twin. Now you're bringing this to a hospital. Let's say you're bringing this to maybe KU referral, or you're bringing researchers on board.
Yeah.
Now convincing them that this is something that is going to be huge.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Okay. I believe for every challenge there is a solution, and every breakthrough you see that has happened over in time and in history, it started with an ambition, right? Yeah, just like today you can talk to someone in America in real time. So like 100 years ago, that will be maybe a magic. Yeah, and considering now we are in healthcare and we have like the real data, we have the human beings, we can also do testing with animals. So I think it's really achievable, because the biggest challenge could be having data. Yeah. And now that we have the data, then it's just incorporating technology and adhering to the ethics and stuff, and then we get everything done.
We'll talk about ethics a little bit later. Right now, there is this project that you're currently undertaking that is QPT1, breast cancer detection model.
Yeah.
How does it work so far?
Yeah, actually, we have the QPT1. Yeah, it's on my website. I don't know if we can have a check on it, maybe later on. Yeah, but basically it's an AI detection model for breast cancer. Yeah, so this is what is happening. I have trained the AI model on mammographs, real mammographs from Vinh Doctor Mammogram. It's a hospital in Vietnam. Yeah, so we train the AI, and then it's a detection and classification. We call it YOLO plus VIT. So let's say, for example, the end game is to integrate it with the scanning machines for the breast cancer. Yeah, so when let's say you have a patient who is maybe you're suspecting to be ailing from breast cancer, the only thing you can do is just put them via the machine, and then the AI can detect if there is any abnormality and identify the exact location where is the abnormality, and classify. Is it cancer? Is it abnormal? Is it malignant? Yeah.
So far, do you get any challenges taking this to hospitals?
I can't say I've had any challenges, because earlier on I liaised with a professor. He's a specialty he's an oncologist actually. Yeah, so the biggest challenge I think will be pulling up the human resource, of which I don't think it's a problem, because I'm based in an institution. Yeah, so that will not be a challenge.
So the project is already completed, it's even rolling out to hospitals, or it's underway?
Yeah, it's underway. Yeah, right. But yeah, for fostering the challenge that would come up, I would say it's a human resource, of which I don't think there is a challenge. Yeah, now that I'm based in an institution, yeah, so that will not be a challenge. Yeah.
So this let me understand this. So this, you're doing it in collaboration with probably professors and using university facilities?
I can't say it's university facilities, because the main deal here is the technology part. Yeah, the professors come in whereby you need to validate, because now healthcare is such a sensitive sector, so they need to validate, are you using the real data? Yeah, and this model you are bringing up, is it following the ethics of code? Is it up to standard of the medical sector? So it's like they are just laying a blueprint on what you should do to ensure that the AI is operating just like a normal human being. Yeah, just adhering to the protocol.
All right. So yeah. How do you like collect data in ethical ways? Because we've had cases in the country, especially I don't know if I should call them startups, but companies, AI companies, most of them, we've seen that they really exploit consumers because there's nothing in this current world that is for free. And as much as we're saying that, for example, you're saying ChatGPT is free, but then again, they're feeding on your data. In as much as you're saying Google is free, but then again, they're feeding on your data because you'll Google something, the next thing you're seeing, you're getting ads on your timeline. So there is absolutely nothing for free for this matter. So how do you collect data in an ethic way?
Yeah, actually...
and also, where do you get this data?
Okay, let me clarify on that. I'm using, I think I mentioned earlier, I'm using data from being Dr. Mammogram dataset. Yeah, it's an open source dataset for breast cancer mammograms for a hospital in Vietnam. Yeah, so they have the open source for mammograms whereby they have over 5,000 patients. They have collected the data and they have uploaded, and it's open source. Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that you currently, it's not that you're like going to hospitals, you're just using data that has been there before, and now all right. That is understandable. Now, I want you to take us through why do you think this is something that is going to be of greater change other than what we've seen before? We've seen other forms of detection. Why is this, especially is it quantum detection? Why is this so important than what we've been seeing before?
Yeah, this is a game changer, particularly integrating the quantum and AI. Quantum is a highly powerful tool. It's like apparently we are using classical computers, and let's say, for instance, a computation that will take a classical computer maybe 3 years can take a quantum computer just a few minutes. Yeah, and you see in the health sector, we rely on a lot of data. So coming up and computing the data to come up with a solution will take relatively much shorter time comparing to the current classical computers. Yeah.
So I've heard of people saying that, things to do with AI, probably quantum AI or experiments to do with AI, developing something using AI, most of it are often experimental. So in this case, how sure are you that it will deliver like real results?
Okay, this is what is happening. Yeah, after I've completed the QPT1, so I'm doing QPT2 now. So that is what, after QPT2, I think I'll be done in a few weeks. Afterwards, it's when I want to start the pilot testing in hospitals. So this is what will be happening. After we integrate the AI model to the hardwares, now we will be checking on the results of the AI detection in comparison to the radiologist per se. So we'll be comparing the results between the two people. And now we try to come up with a comparison, who is better, what can be improved, how can it be done. Yeah.
All right. Now, how does your team look like? Because you mentioned you're working on something. This it can't be a 1 month army.
Yeah.
How does your team look like?
Yeah, we are on a team of 3 people apparently. Yeah, all we are the tech service working on the technical part. Yeah, but now after this, it requires a collaborative effort. Yeah, so we need to find partners, we need to find collaborators, we need to find more researchers into this. Just that we are starting, and obviously when you're starting, you need to, you obviously be alone or maybe a team of a few people. But then to expand, you need other people on board. Yeah.
So you're a team of 3 people. We have very many hospitals. I don't know the number, so I can't mention very many hospitals in the country. And you've mentioned, your website says that you intend to have disease-free future, something related to that. So what are the scalability plans? Because being 3 people, what are the possibilities of you upscaling to like do maybe the whole of Kenya and maybe expand internationally?
Yeah, okay, that will be a journey. Yeah, and we are ready for that. Yeah, the biggest challenge will be maybe getting people on board and creating awareness. Yeah, but we are planning to utilize social media, like a platform like this. Yeah, so when we pitch for such an occasion, we find people with the same-minded people who share maybe the same vision. Then we can onboard them, whether it's investors, partners, researchers. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the human twin. Talk to us more about that.
Yeah, okay. At KMAI, we are actually aiming in different sectors, but the main area is health. And in health, we have the biggest vision is to create a digital human version twin of the human body. Yeah, and this is actually whereby the quantum technology is usually very important. Yeah, because for a human body, for example, a single human body has over 37 trillion cells. Yeah, so to get to understand the mechanism and the functionality of each of those cells and they are interacting, the mechanisms of the nerves, the blood, and all those things. Yeah, we need to create a digital version twin of the human body. Yeah.
Someone would argue that this is being too ambitious. Because you were talking about cells, you're talking about bones, you're talking about all these things.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's ambitious, I know. But every breakthrough in history started with one person who was ambitious. Yeah, just like the way Elon Musk has been able to venture into Mars. He was ambitious. Actually, he was saying while he was starting, a friend of his brought him a collection of maybe cassettes, the old DVDs. They're showing you people who tried to venture into space, but they failed. Yeah, not to digress, but to say it's overambitious, but the fact that you can imagine, you can make it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, in the attempts of, or in your venture of developing a human twin, what possible ethical challenges do you foresee when it comes to this development?
The biggest challenge will be getting the data from people, because now that is real biodata and it can be used against someone. Yeah, if I collect maybe a DNA from someone, then I can possibly go and create maybe a twin baby from the same person. Yeah, and that can be used against the person. Yeah, maybe let's say in an event whereby I collect data from you, right? And you are a billionaire. So I go and I replicate, or I inseminate with a male. We form a baby, and when the baby is formed, when they reach 18, they will want their share from you. So we start lawsuits. Yeah, we want to get our share from you because you are our mother. Yeah, so those are some of the challenges which we could be in the future.
And how do you plan to handle these challenges? Because if it's something that you're foreseeing, that means you're planning on having solutions.
Yeah, this incorporates collecting data in a properly guided way. Yeah, ensuring the people who are collecting the data are the certified ones. They have the mandate and they are authorized. And once the data is collected, it is stored in a properly manner, and it cannot be leaked or anything of the sort. They're just ensuring that the collecting process, the storing process, it's done in accordance to the law. Yeah.
What's the reason why you believe that KMAI is you mentioned is a $1 trillion company?
Yeah. KMAI has really great potential. We are not in for money. Yeah, but of course money has to come in play. And for you to gain money in any sector, whether health, whether business, whether finance, you must be solving a challenge. Yeah. Have you ever wondered or imagined you don't have to work? Maybe you have a neighbor who is ailing from maybe leukemia, and you don't have to worry that they are going to succumb to the same. Yeah, so really getting to wave off that the stress. anyone will be willing to invest in such. And that is it. You find a solution to a problem, and then you create revenue from the same.
Now, in our Kenyan setup, we've had situations where the government misuses their privilege to having everyone's information at their hand. So in a case where probably maybe governments or corporations will tend to misuse this project that you're having, or the outcome that you're having. Maybe probably it's the human twin has been made to a completion, and now governments tend to misuse it. How then do you plan to handle such a case?
I believe before you form a company, there are things to do with memorandum of association, and things like that. And this is such a critical question. Thank you for asking. And that would really mean to articulate certain principles and laws for the company and what will be done. And again, this is not just a Kenyan-based company. We are planning to be an international entity. So coming up with the laws, the rules, and the protocols for the company, I think that will really prevent it from exploitation. Because I believe in such cases, you find when the company was being formed, they didn't lay the foundation protocols that would sustain the company. And it comes to a point whereby the rules can be bent because the foundation was not so strong. So maybe the governments can bend them to their advantage.
Remember, we are talking about a government like Kenya. And I've also seen this in Nigeria, I've also seen this in Uganda, where it's a government, probably we have laws. I'll take an example of what has been rampant in the country of protest. So we have a law that your information, your data should not be shared by the government. But then the government has the authority to get probably your location and your data from Safaricom. So that's how you can be found easily. And now we've also also have laws, for example, on civilian protection, military, and all that. But we've seen them going to the streets and probably, allegedly, shooting at the public. So we have laws in the country. And now this is a development that someone may argue that this is not human. So probably there is no humanity in it. So how I'm looking at it from a perspective that this is from the Kenyan perspective. This is a government that most of the time will overlook laws, and you've heard of situations where laws only apply if you're not in power. So how exactly do you intend to handle this?
Well, that's really critical. And again, I believe having the company, having a strong foundation, you should have people who really know what the company is in for. Like the partners, you have to lay a good foundation and the memorandum of association, how you're going to operate.
Okay.
And again, I believe we have a constitution. Even though many times those people in power tend to overlook and do to their wish. But again, I believe that is something that could be beyond our power. That is if they can overlook the constitution. But then again, that will be a rare occurrence. Because again, I believe if the company was founded the right way and you had the right mindset and the rules you followed, it's really going to play in your favor. However much, because they won't be in power forever. So governments keep changing. And you can also liaise with international organizations. They can chip in and save the company if the local government is trying to misuse the company to their advantage.
All right. Now, at the moment, generally in the world, there are very minimal laws in as far as AI is concerned, in terms of regulation, what is allowed to be collected. There are very minimal laws in as far as AI is concerned. Now, let's take a look at in most cases, as a continent, Africa, we've had very many youths develop brilliant projects or brilliant work, and then it ends up being, taken over by big tech companies and international companies. For example, I'll give an example of M-Pesa.
Yeah.
We have brilliant youths in the country or in Africa coming up with brilliant ideas, but then they end up being snatched from them in a very easy way. Are you braced for that?
Yeah, actually that comes to the following the proper protocol. Yeah, apparently I'm registering the company. I'm just waiting for the certificate of incorporation. I think that is the biggest challenge, because once the company is registered and you are under your name, then it means it's your property. And also we have the intellectual property. They're called the intellectual property, something like that. Like it's like an ID to ensure this is your project and nobody can take it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know the case of the M-Pesa guy. I think he sold the okay, I hear. I don't know if this is true. The company was snatched from him. Is it because he had not registered the company or the startup, or he didn't have the intellectual what do you call it?
Corporate,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that is what happened. And once you don't have that, you see the Safaricom, they are sharp.
Mm-hmm.
They are a company, they've been through all these protocols, and they just take the idea, the startup, they pay you a few dollars, they go, they take the intellectual, and it's their company. You can take it back.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so
the law
wewe
patents.
personally umejipanga?
Yeah, I'm prepared. I'm already registered the company. I'm just waiting for the certificate of incorporation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that way it's hard for someone to take it from me.
Where do you see the company in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, by impact or by what?
Generally, by
Generally.
impact, growth.
Yeah. Okay, I'm foreseeing a future whereby we don't have to live with worry about malaria, I don't know, breast cancer. Yeah. In 5 years to 10, I'm seeing it to be an international enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by impact. Yeah, especially in the health industry.
Mm-hmm.
They're solving the most technical and the most challenges that have been in the health industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, you see, in the health industry, most of the cases, like the coronavirus, it's a human-engineered disease. So if it's human-made, then it can be broken also.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm coming to. How are you planning to handle, let me call them health cartels,
Mm-hmm.
because it's an industry where it's a business.
Yeah.
It has to be profitable. There is, if you're keen on probably the developed countries, you'll find that in this is also in Kenya. I saw it, I think it's in Narok, I don't know, where you're having probably a club, then in the vicinity there's a rehabilitation center. You have maybe a fast food shop where kuna the marinated chickens and all that, fried ones zenye zina mature in 3 months, kuku imekuwa kubwa. Then close to it there is probably a clinic, a hospital, or a gym, something like that. So it's also the same thing with health. A medicine will be created, but this medicine probably it won't heal you. It will suppress your pain or reduce machungu kidogo. So how do you plan to handle cartels in the health sector? Because this is once again $1 billion investment when it comes to health internationally. Yeah. Not just in the country, internationally.
Yeah, well, that is very true. Yeah, I believe there are many companies who are in play. Yeah, you hear cases whereby someone found maybe the solution or a cure to HIV, but the next day they are found dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this really calls for you to having the right people in your circle. The people you will found as partners, people who will be helping you, people who will be guiding you on what to do. They have to be real, genuine and authentic people who again share the same vision and mind you have. Because if it happens you get someone who is willing to take advantage of the situation, then they will be working against you and you never find the goal or reach the goal which you are aiming. So it calls for having the right people in your team. The right partners, investors, people guiding you, in that process.
All right. Now, as we bring this closer to an end, I would like for you to talk to us about other projects, because we've majorly focused on health because, health is big, health is wealth. But then there's other projects because I know that in as much as we want to control our health, most of the time, this is always determined by what we eat, generally our lifestyle. So there are other areas that your company focuses on, that is agribusiness, climate, and all that. Now talk to us about these projects and how you intend to make them also a better part of this discovery of coming up with a disease-free future.
Yeah, okay. Let's again say, let me start with the agriculture. You see, in the current, there's a current statistics that showed in a few years to come, 1 out of every 2 people will be ailing from cancer. Now you understand why it's critical for this company. And most of the cancers, especially those along the gut, they come from the lifestyle and specifically the foods we eat. And recently we have had cases of GMOs, the genetically modified foods, the fast foods. And that is whereby we need to also venture into agriculture. Ensure we are producing foods in a safe way. And ensure that the supply chain is also well. For example, if we have a farm and we need to ensure that the crops being grown are made so in the right way, we need to ensure that we have the right procedures for fighting maybe the crop infections. Because again, you find nowadays there are a lot of pesticides which are being used in the farm. And this is what is translating also into the foods we eat and affecting us. So we need to come up with solutions in a more sustainable way and in a safe way, whereby we can fight the crop infections. We can also come up with like the areas whereby we have insufficient water. We can also improvise and use technology to find more sustainable ways to come up with irrigation. Maybe capture rain from the clouds like they do in Israel and stuff. So that is what we are planning to do, maybe on the agriculture sector. Just that we have not so much in depth entered into it, but it's in play also.
All right. Any final words to our viewers back at home? Okay, before we get to the final words, this is a Biashara Tuesday show. So normally we give our viewers inside trade secrets and everything in between. So are there profitabilities, ventures in your research? And if there is a youth out there who probably wants to venture in research, is there any venture that currently is profitable that they can venture in terms of research?
There's a lot of research to be made, especially now in the advent of artificial intelligence. Actually, you see, like the company OpenAI itself is not an AI company, it's a research company. So there's a lot of research to be made, and artificial intelligence has made it more robust, and a lot of people now are gaining also spaces in such places. There's research in health, research in agriculture, research everywhere. Like the other day, the United States Army, they paid, Scale AI. Scale AI is also a AI company. They paid them $99 million to research. So there's really a lot of jobs out there for research. If anyone would like to get into research, but again, you need to have a skill. Because those people, they need people with high skills. They're not just hiring anyone. So you need to equip yourself with a skill, and then you're helpful to the market.
Is this the same for tech development?
The skill AI? Or
tech development?
Like what we're doing?
Opportunities.
Yeah. Actually, there are a lot of vacancies in the technology development. There were people worried that AI is gonna take away their jobs, maybe. Yeah, but in contrary, I believe it's creating more jobs, especially in the tech area. Yeah.
All right. Now, any final words to our viewers back at home?
Well, all I can say is let's come up together. Let's collaborate, hold our hands together, support open our company, Chem AI. In whatever way you can share the word, you can become our partner if you want to be our mentor, or even if you want to be our investor. We welcome anyone who is of the same mind and who want to share the same vision. We welcome you on board.
All right. For those people who are looking up to you, what should they expect from Chem AI?
From Chem AI, expect a real value company. Yeah, we are a tech frontier company. Yeah, we are aiming to scale to the levels of Google or even better. Yeah, but this is only through impact, not maybe due business. To not business, but impact, especially in the health area. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Should I call you Kibaki? You know, when I call you Kibaki, it feels like I'm calling a president, but then everything is possible.
You can call me engineer.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, engineer, for making time for us this morning.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure to have you on board. And this is a project that engineer says it's going to be very impactful, especially in the health sector. So if you are an investor, you want to venture into this research, you can always reach out to them on their social media, on their website, is it?
Yeah, on the website we have the links to our contacts, the email and the phone number.
The website is still Chem AI.
Yeah, chem.org.
All right.
Yeah.
So you had it, chem.org. If you want to be part of this brilliant $1 trillion investment, so to say, you can always reach out to them and help. This is, in as much as it's creating job opportunities for the young people in the country, it's also a step to improving our healthcare as a universe or as a world, and also rooting out health cartels. So coming up next is the newspaper review, and we'll be joined by very own Ojwang Mariam and Blesmail Hassan. So stay tuned for the same.
Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians?
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia.
They find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated.
Inclusive setups.
By providing the right facilities.
University community, and on my own behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to all our first-year students. I'm happy that a total of about 13,000 students, 847 first-year undergraduates and postgraduate students have been admitted into the main satellite and the satellite campuses in September 2025. That is the number expected to be in Kenyatta University, that is over 13,000. But I want to say In this number, 10,480 were initial placement by COOPs. And I can tell you this is the highest number that we have received as Kenyatta University. And I believe this is the highest number in our national universities. We have also 1,284 transfers from other universities. In other words, there are people who are not placed here by COOPs, but they want to come to Kenyatta University. So we have allowed them to transfer to come to Kenyatta University. We also have 1,353 self-sponsored students who are also choosing to come to Kenyatta University. We have 730 postgraduate students, which means Kenyatta University is not just for the undergraduates. We offer first degrees, masters, and also PhDs, and diplomas and certificates. As at today, which is August 28, 2025, a total of 10,037 students have already registered, and you are part of that registration. Notably, we have also admitted the first cohorts of the COOP students in 2 programs, Bachelor of Security Science and Management and Bachelor of Arts in International Relations and Diplomacy, which means these are 2 new programs at that level. Further, the university is expected to register 58 new international students, thereby increasing the population of international students to 921, drawn from 29 diverse national universities. These are students who have joined us from other countries, and therefore we are saying Kenyatta University is not just for the national. We also attract students from other countries, and at the moment 29 countries are the ones that are represented here in Kenyatta University. I take this opportunity to congratulate you all for excelling at your different levels to meet the criteria for joining Kenyatta University. We are glad that you are joining Kenyatta University family, and I am sure that by the end of your academic journey with us, you will have benefited from the unique KU experience that our alumni are so proud of. Today's matriculation ceremony should be an occasion for you not only to celebrate your achievement and new status, but also to cast your eyes on the academic and career journey ahead. As you may be aware, only 180,223 of all the learners who took the KCSE 2024 who were able to secure government-sponsored university slots. As you commence your journey, as a student, I encourage you to make the best out of the privileged opportunity that all of you have. it means you are the chosen one. And therefore, as Kenyatta University, we are asking you to be humble and to know that the government has sacrificed. And therefore, you take this opportunity, knowing that there are so many people, so many students who are with you in high school who are not able to get this opportunity. Like any other organization or community, Kenyatta University has rules and regulations that regulate the conduct of her members. Remember, you are just a section of Kenyatta University community. So, we have rules and regulations to enable us to be able to stay together. Now, we want to say that as the new members of Kenyatta University, I believe that during your orientation, you have been taken through many areas, the labs, the offices, and you have also been given a booklet. That student information booklet is really a guide for what is expected of you as a member of this community. As Kenyatta University, we are proud to be one of the best in Kenya and the region, and that is what you have joined. We have high quality academic programs that have received the necessary legal and professional approval internationally. We also have highly qualified teaching and non-teaching staff, excellent facilities, and services to support teaching and learning. I trust that you have a glimpse at this during your physical orientation and the short time you have been at the campus. Our first year students, we also offer various supportive services to enable you to pursue your studies successfully and lead healthy, active, and comfortable campus lives. These services are offered by, first, a Directorate of Student Affairs, which is dedicated to welfare of the students. And the director was already introduced, or has introduced herself. We have wardens for each hostel and for non-resident students. This is again trying to repeat what I have just said. We have introduced those people here, and these are the services that they offer. We also have our chaplains. They have also said what they do. Depending on your faith, they are there to guide you spiritually. We also have a Directorate of Security Services to ensure a safe and secure environment for the university community. Again, the director was there. He has introduced himself, so now we know, or you know, where to go. We have also, very important, the Directorate of Health Services for provision of medical and wellness services. This is a very key directorate, and Dr. Wari has just introduced himself. You need to know where he's located, but it is important that for now, because you never know when you get sick, we need to get the hotline. If, for example, you get sick or your friend gets sick suddenly, what do? We have a hotline.
All right, welcome back. It is now time for the State of the Nation, a discussion surrounding newspapers. And like I mentioned earlier, we are joined by very own Ojwang Mariam and Bluesmail Hassan. Gentlemen, please introduce, but please introduce yourselves.
Asante sana. I'm still Ojwang, mtoto wa Mariam, senior warrant officer 1 au lieutenant kanali. At the community level, they still call me Mkenya, Akenya nae, lakini Ukenya wake usi Ukenye, because I'm a communications expert, community leader, peace and sustainability advocate. I'm so proud to be here to debate today with the people from the government. And nasikia wakihepa sana nasema, we are just in power. We are not following ODM Youth League.
Yeah, of course. My name is Bluesmail Hassan, and I'm really privileged because it's usually a privilege to be on this show. And I am not in the government. I am in power. And I support, because my party leader, Amason Jeffa Kingi, is in the Kenya Kwanza administration. So, by virtue of being a power member, I am part of the Kenya Kwanza administration. I am not part of
Senate.
the UDA. And I'm not a senator.
Quite an interesting way to begin. Mmesema nyinyi ni watu wa giving your brains to the government. All right. So this morning, tuna homa fulani inaendelea currently in the country, and this homa ni homa ya impeachment, and that is what is given prominence on the Daily Nation. Kuna imetoka Isiolo, ikateremka ikafika Kericho, sasa imerudi iko Nairobi. And we have Sakaja. Ladies call him Omidimpos.
The dimple is fading. Ama naona zangu, you know.
The dimple is fading.
Ameka ulimi.
All right, so Sakaja there is a game of numbers apparently. So there is a total of 123 members of county assembly. The number required to introduce impeachment motion is 41, but apparently 87 have signed, which surpasses the 2/3 majority, which is 82. So more than 2/3 they've already given their signatures for that motion to be presented in parliament. And right now Sakaja has been calling on Raila Odinga, ambia baba nisaidie. And the irony of this is that Sakaja is elected under UDA, and right now he's looking for baba to support him ndio asikuwe impeached. But then is it because there are several theories here. So is it because of the broad-based movement and baba influence, or is it because of the majority of members of county assemblies in Nairobi being from ODM? That is why he's seeking his help. And if that is the case, are the members of county assembly really doing what they're supposed to be doing? Because they're supposed to be doing oversight, legislation, and what is the third one?
Oversight, legislation, and representation. So at the moment, in as far as this is part of their mandate, holding their leaders accountable. But if I look at it, if they are to take action and then
Raila is talked to, and then that thing is dropped, then what does it mean on their role of oversight? Is it that this is just a business that they present it, they are bought, they are given money, and then all that is dropped? What happens to the grievances that they are complaining? And this also brings me to ask the questions: is their complaints, or are their complaints legitimate? Let me begin from you, John.
Thank you for beginning from me. I'm a resident and a voter in Nairobi, Roysambu constituency, to be precise. I know Sakaja. I've never met Sakaja, but I know Sakaja. In 2022, I campaigned against Sakaja because I was a Jubilee Party member voting and rooting for Polycarp Igathe to manage this county. Sakaja went in under the wave of Hustler Nation. Initially, he was a candidate of ANC, Amani National Coalition, and then when UDA got a wave that was strong enough to swipe Margaret Wanjiru away from the gubernatorial race, he took the governorship under UDA. He brought something that has been instrumental in the community or a community level called Sakaja Super Cup. Apart from Sakaja Super Cup, he ensured that he has worked with organizations like Food for Education to own Dishina County. Those two things have kept the name of Sakaja, at a high level. It's a PR that has been used to cover all the ills, all the marginalization, all the discrimination of resources. I am talking about real infrastructural development that was promised according to the manifesto. The people of Kiwanja, KM, Kamai have not benefited from any road infrastructure under his leadership. The MCA of that place, if his role is only representation, legislation, and oversight, he was supposed to use his oversight role to make sure that Sakaja delivers, to ensure that watu wa KM Kiwanja wako na barabara, watu wa Roysambu ward who are being led by independent MCA Sospita, who is leading this group of MCAs to impeach this governor, had to go on 3-day protest for them to get Lumumba Drive. Just recapitulated, Sakaja has been using this form of intimidation on his MCAs, that if you go against me, you will not get resources. If you go against me, you'll not get your WDF, World Development Fund, which in Nairobi County translates to 23 million per each ward. If Kahawa West Ward gets 23 million, with an approximate of 2.63 billion in financial year 2023 and 2024, and 2.9 billion in financial year 2024-2025, why is it that we still don't have roads? Sakaja is not supposed to be impeached today. He was supposed to be impeached a year earlier. But Sakaja has always had some kind of security in Baba. Guys, whether Baba has betrayed the country or not, Baba is still a force. First in the Luo Nation, second in the ghettos, third in people who love Harambee Stars and Arsenal, especially failures in Arsenal. They will always talk good of Baba because they have something they relate to. So Baba has power to protect this guy. Nairobi has the majority of MCAs from Azimio, not UDA of the ruling Kenya Kwanza. The majority are in Azimio. So after 2022, Sakaja had to see Baba for the blessings. And MCAs like Alai from Kileleshwa had to change tune and to look like they are supporting Sakaja. There have been allegations that are online on papers everywhere about how Sakaja has been funding Baba or Baba's Foundation 200 million per month, and how that has been giving him protection. But right now, Sakaja is being accused of losing touch with the city's problems. that is so bad for someone like Baba, who is a voice from the ghetto, who is a voice of Luo Nation, who are also very big in terms of numbers in the Nairobi County. So when Sakaja goes to beg this same Baba to help him, it means he cannot be helped by MCAs. He cannot be helped by the communities who have been thriving under Sakaja Super Cup or Dishina County, because they are just a handful. Sakaja is very good in PR. He takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gives them 500, they come and sing. Sakaja siku zombo. But Raila fights to rescue Sakaja. Raila has so many fights. But today, in all those fights, he's adding fighting for Sakaja. For how long? If he survives, because he can survive in the Senate, not in the assembly. The assembly has decided if 41 number is the number of MCAs needed to impeach him, but 87 are and have already signed the impeachment motions, it means his goods is cooked in Nairobi County Assembly. But in the Senate, he could survive because of Baba effect. But how does the future look like? 2027, young men like Babu Owino, who have been with Baba always, will now be with the people as they have always been. Whether Baba says yes or no, it is still a fail for Sakaja.
All right, now Blue Smile, is this a fight for resources, or is it really a fight against corruption?
I really don't think that it's a fight against corruption. It's more of a fight for resources, because when you look at all these grievances that the meeting with Baba and the MCAs and the county leadership that happened in Karen and in the Jaramogi Odinga Foundation, which has been in the previous weeks, even as this impeachment has been going on. This is according to the Daily Nation. You see that the MCAs are complaining that it has been hard for them to even reach to the governor, because they are gatekeepers in the whole scenario. There are some actually accusations have been flying towards the majority leader in the county assembly, because he has been gatekeeping and making it hard for MCAs to even access City Hall. And that's why you hear Ojwang saying that the MCA had to, some MCA had to demonstrate for cab rolls to be put. But again, let's look at, I would like us to look at this scenario as, a moment for the governors. It is a moment of weakness for the governors to have MCAs impeaching them. If this whole impeachment process could have been done that we really need some signatures from the people, like it is with the president, it could have been better. But now we have MCAs who, with just a little altercation with the governors or the county assembly, they only think of impeachment. We saw, most of these impeachments are no longer a push for accountability, rather than they are push for, witch hunting and showmanship of bravado. Because look at whatever happened in Kericho, because we're not just talking about Nairobi, because Ojwang is really into Nairobi, but I'm talking about the flow of impeachment, as you've put it. Look at the whole nation. We saw what happened in Meru. What happened in, was it Wajir or Isiolo? Isiolo. Then we have Kericho. Now we are into Nairobi. It is more of, wacha tufanye, anaona yeye anatuweza, sisi we have power over him. And whatever is happening, even with the media coverage of the Nairobi MCAs, they're trying to send a message to Sakaja, of whom he has been very silently clinging on Raila, as the Daily Nation has put it. But when it comes to politics, it is a quite different thing than when it comes to call for accountability. It is a different thing from call for good leadership, because you can be a very bad leader and very good at politics. And I'm not mentioning anyone, but I'm saying we saw with
Somebody
politics
in paradise.
No, with politics, even with Sakaja, he has actually been trying to play politics with Nairobi, because he just wants to do projects that will make him appear on media. He did the crying with Additional County, and it was all over the media. He was there during the AUC with the Raila Odinga. It actually frontlined him in the media, and he's actually putting cab roads in the city, which probably it is where the media will focus, because the city of Nairobi is transforming. But what about the Kileleshwa? What about other places where the media will probably not go and see? What about the dam sites or those ghettos that he has been put it right that Raila Odinga is the king of the ghettos? What about them? What about the MCAs? So it's a whole issue, and sadly, I think the people of Nairobi might wait a little bit longer till 2027 for probably to make the right decision, because with impeachment, it is purely politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So according to you, it's not about fighting corruption, it's about fighting for resources.
Exactly.
And just so the viewers can know that concerning that matter, Baba say that I don't care if you call me a betrayer. I am saying what I know is right on the matters of the funds directed towards members of parliament, saying no, they should not be directed towards members of county assembly or members of the National Assembly. This should be in the county governments led by governors. So it is a fight of resources, so to say. Now, moving on the this is Daily Nation. Yes, Daily Nation. We have several business stories over there, but first I want us to talk still on matters governors and sorry, something to do with EACC. Someone told me that I'm looking at the Daily Nation, that is on page 5, on Bachok loses bid to block his arrest. Someone told me that, in this country, every member of let's say every politician or every leader has a corruption file. Each one of them, in one way or another, is corrupt. So by the time ukianza kukosoa serikali, ukianza kukua what do they call it? Kidonda ama sijui wasemaje. Yes.
Donda dugu.
Ukianza kusumbua kidogo, sisi wanakutolea faili yako na kuambia sasa si unaona, then unatulia. So I'm saying it's a tactic. Okay, I'm not saying it is a tactic, but from that information that every leader is corrupt in one or another. It just depends on how good are you with the government at this time, how bad are you. Ukisumbua sana, wanaambia EACC, do this, chukua file yake. And now my question is on the independence of our oversight bodies, that is EACC, because if I look at page 7, I'm also seeing a very interesting photo there of Duale, DCI boss, and who is this again? This is SHA CEO, Dr. Mercy Mwangangi. Mm-hmm. And they are handing over 1,118 files on fraudulent facilities to DCI. What is interesting to me is the smiles as they hand over the documents on the photo. All of them are actually smiling as they hand over. You remember when Baba was handing over documents, akipea Maraga, you see, unakumbuka hiyo sura? Hiyo ndo sura ya umekasirika, I'm being accused falsely. But these ones are smiling and they're presenting it to the DCI. So I'm talking of DCI and EACC questioning their independence in terms of oversight and conducting their investigations. What's your opinion?
Well, first of all, it looks like DCI, EACC are not enough bodies to fight corruption in this country. That is why the current president has resorted to putting up another task force. Mm-hmm. Because we have a backing dog. We have a backing dog. We now need a biting dog. You see, we say in every news they give you, look at what they've not told you. So they're giving you a file of 1,118. 88.
Yes.
1,188 cases of fraudulent hospitals, and they are smiling. Ask yourself, how many have they hidden? How many have they hidden in a country where we've just seen the other day a former CEO of Ladnan, a hospital that has been siphoning cash from the same SHA, being a friend that is being protected by the same CS. Even if we keep saying yaliyopita si duale, we have to ensure that we are taking charge of our own health.
Well, that's intentional.
Imagine, under these tough economic times, we are unakopa huyu thou, anakosa. But believe it or not, utapata za SHA. Because it's a must to party. As you are saying that you are safe, you have set up aside some medical fund in SHA for your time of need. You hear that 10 billion has been frozen in these are claims that CS Duale is saying are coming from fraudulent hospitals. On top of that, he is still the CS when 104 billion yenye iliibiwa wakati wa Gatabaki as they were putting up this social health authority system, bado zinaendelea kuibiwa. Inamaanisha in 5 years from now, wewe kama the only health insurance uko nayo ni hapo kwa SHA, you will die immediately umekuwa mgonjwa. Inamaanisha Kenyans will have to toil more so that they work for pesa za hosi pekee. Why? Juu SHA yako ukishaingia pale hivyo unaambiwa na daktari Dr. Kamau or Dr. Wanjiko, Asha yezi. But as you're doing that, pesa zinaendelea kuibiwa. Mimi bado ukola on CC. Juu ni CC. Wewe ukiibiwa sana unafanyagaje? Unaambia gamse umeniibia sana, wacha. We should boldly tell Duale, wacheni. Michezo ya town tushajua sisi si wale watu wa 80s na 90s. Sisi tuko na kikosi kimezaliwa 203 na kukuja. Kuna watu wanaringa walipata masomo kama millennials. Kuna wengine wamezaliwa ndani ya masomo. Utarudi aje ukuje uanze tu confuse na numbers. There are times in this country when if you mentioned billion, ulikuwa unakaa genius. But these days billions zimeibiwa sana to a point tumekuwa condition hadi tunajua billion ni nini, time hatuna thao. We can do it. We tell them no.
All right. Lusman, your opinion on the independence of oversight authorities?
Before I get there, I would like to maybe rebut whatever Ojwanga said on matters SHA. You see, for a very long time, people have been selling narratives that SHA is a failure. And I think they're so good at it that they're actually forgetting that the government is actually, the mwananchi in mashinani and any other places is actually enjoying SHA. I think they should be regularly going to hospitals so that they can actually criticize them as they go with time. Because I was actually in Kilifi the other day, and I'll be returning back to Kilifi in the course of next week. And I happened to go to the Kilifi County General Hospital, which is a level 4 hospital. And let me tell you, for the people of Kilifi who did not know the luxury of having an NHIF, the people who are actually in mashinani, I'm not talking about the millennials who actually maybe have enjoyed many good health covers, but for the people in mashinani there. And a friend of mine there was had a friend who we had actually gone to visit, and alikuwa ameenda kufanywa operation, alikuwa na growth kwa tumbo, and hiyo operation ilikuwa inafaa take almost 100,000, but with SHA alipay 6,000 kwa SHA alone, and I actually saw the receipt and actually did a small video on it. Sijabeba huko ndo nini, lakini ningejua nini ningebeba. And then I remembered the times that we've actually come with Ojwang here akisema SHA work, and I was like, yeah, you people do not know what SHA means to these people. Probably because we've used to other health insurances and probably we are paying less. So we see that this thing in Imbaya. But with us pulling resources at one pool, and many people are actually enjoying. So with saying that, I'm not justifying the billions of money that are being stolen from SHA. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying this initiative is a very good one.
Propaganda is louder than
but you know, I understand them. Now, on the billions that are stolen by SHA, I'm actually surprised because with this scandal, it is becoming back and forth between the governor, the media, the CS, Aden Duale, the media, and hospitals, politicians. Okay, whatever the president and Adwale are saying, that the SHA system is so good that it can actually detect billions being stolen. But in its goodness, billions have already been stolen. It has just detected that billions have been stolen, but the billions are already missing, yes? So, now they have gone to the DCI. It's a good initiative. And they're smiling, probably because they want to tell the media, or they want the world to see that the government is actually, the DCI is actually not just a barking dog, but is actually biting. But again, we had the St. Mary's Hospital, which the Chief Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, said that it received close to 8 million, and then the priest in charge said that it only received close to 1 million shillings. So who is telling us the truth? Who is telling us the lies? Again, this is a call for accountability, even for people who are supporting the government. We want accountability from the government on matters SHA. It is not something that we need to politic about. It is something that we need answers, because it is our money. It is Ojwang's money. We are being, no one here, even me, sadly, I'm being deducted SHA levies. Compulsory, it is mandatory. It is not like I am just out of my will that I'm contributing to SHA. It is a mandatory thing. So if it is mandatory, the way they are forcing it on us, even with other good insurance covers, you have to pay for SHA, then it is our civic responsibility, because it is our money, to ask where it is going and where it is getting lost. So here, I think we should agree as a nation. This is like how we came with Harambee Stars. We should come as a nation the way we are coming. We need to answer accountability. So whoever was expecting me to maybe defend SHA on this, I cannot defend SHA on this, because it is our money.
You are defending attacking, bro. I don't know if you are realizing that.
No, I'm not defending on attacking.
We are asking about the independence of oversight bodies.
Yeah, now let me get to there now. The independence of these bodies probably, it is not something that has come under scrutiny under William Ruto alone. It has actually been there. This EACC and DCI have been used even against the current administration for political gains. But now I am saying it is a new reality that has to dawn upon the government and everyone who is playing with public resources, that it is not going to be business as usual if you steal from us. These bodies need to be very independent. If they were not independent in 2022 under Uhuru Kenyatta, they cannot be less independent under Ruto, because they are dealing with our money, our resources as Kenyans. And if I do not know if the government has realized, or ESSC has realized, I saw the prayer by the newly appointed ESSC chair. It was a prayer of corruption, and it was a very good prayer. And I hope that we get away from the prayers and get into action.
Well said, because I was just about to say that in this country, just a minute, in this country, we always live by a lot of hope. You ask a leader, what are you doing? And then the leader tells you, we should. Yeah, it's always hopeful. You ask, we are seeing there are so many controversies in SHA. What is the government doing? We are working on, you see, it's always working on something. We should, it's supposed to be, someone should. It's not always ndio tunafanya sasa. Ojwang?
I've listened to people who have experienced SHA from his view. But the reason I say I'm voice of ghetto is because it doesn't matter how empowered I may look. I'm still a son of that ghetto where I have had personal stories of SHA. Him telling me that we need to go to mashinani so that we can understand SHA, see its goodness and see its badness, will only translate to a Kikuyu proverb that says, Modo utaumagaraga auaga no nyina oe kuruga. That a person who does not explore will always praise their own mother for their recipes. Blue Smile has traveled from Pwani. We've met in the best university in the country, being resilient in his work. My own mother has had to call me being denied health access in a level 3 hospital, level 4 hospital, and PGH Nyeri hospital where I was born because of the same SHA.
When?
Listen, I'm not on trial. I'm just speaking facts. And because you've spoken and finished, I'm just requesting I finish.
Right.
So, my own mother, her name is Mariam, a resident of Majengo ward in Nyeri, suffering from a medical condition yenye, kila time ukiingia hosi, unaambiwa hauna SHA, utarudi nyumbani ukatafute 6K, ndo upate isha. So kama haujapata hiyo 6K, utakufa. The doctors have had even to call me and ask me, hello son, your mom is here in hospital and she urgently needs, not pesa za lab, she urgently needs 6,000 for SHA. But as a youth who is still struggling in the city, making ends meet for me, for my daughter, for my community, and for my parents back at home, I may lack 6K at the moment, and I may lose my mother. Yet in the constitution of Kenya that was promulgated 2010, healthcare is still a right in this country. But we are still debating on, for these people to get this healthcare, they must have 6,000 contributed to SHA. And then today we are reading in the Daily Nation that he is having that this 6,000 they are contributing is not going to the right hospitals like PGH Nyeri, like Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, like KNH, but to fake hospitals like Ladnan. Today, my mother cannot go to Ladnan, even knocking, whether it is fake or not. She can still just afford to go to that level 3 hospital, that level 4 hospital that is not accessing the funds and capitation from the national government or county government. The doctors are constantly on strike. Yesterday, the governors were meeting because of 2 things. One, how they will hire over 7,000 doctors who are on strike and others are interns. 2, how they will evade the e-procurement so that they can continue looting. Even if we want to address SHA or address these people, we need to be humane. And that's the whole reason I'm here. I'm here because I understand you, I understand him, and I understand these issues that are happening in our society. Let us be a voice, let us be a mirror, let us be truthful. That's the only way we can hold these people accountable. You cannot hold someone accountable without truth. Because it is truth that will make you yesterday to hold this view, today same view, tomorrow this view.
All right. And to our viewers back at home, that story on governors defying route on e-procurement is on the Daily Nation on page 6. Moving on, I want us to talk a little bit on matters education. The Standard talks about big economy lie, and they quote Mbadi, who is saying that the economy is stabilizing, but the analysts were saying that the situation is different. Also, students, just tying it to matters education, students are apparently right now, students are being sent home as states withholds capitation. Last week, was it last week or the week before last week? We had Mbadi say that around 23 billion will be released for school capitation. Apparently, that money has not been released. This as far as the Daily Nation saying that day schools are bearing the brunt of the financial strain, relying entirely on government funds for their operational cost. And it's a question of if free education is really free in the country. But then, now that we are talking on matters education, yesterday we had 2 stories in relation to young people in school. One was in Narok, where a 9-year-old boy was found dead in the dormitories, and his throat was slit in school. And the witnesses say there were several patches of blood around. And it's a sad story because I'm looking at it in this way. Our children are not safe in school. And back at home, in Mombasa, there's a 15-year-old boy who was sodomized by 3 men on different dates between the 8th of August to the 25th of August. That is still a story on a young person who is supposed to be in school. So they're not safe in school. They're not safe at home. But then again, they can't stay in school either because shule haiwezi wamudu. Nimetumia Kiswahili kubwa. And they have to go home. And the period between 8th to the 25th is when students were home for holidays, right? And if I look at it also, they went home earlier because schools could not be able to sustain them in school. And then, so there's just a problem. I don't know if it's a problem with the education sector or it's a moral problem, or, we always need to find someone to blame. Or is it a government's problem? So from where, I want to get your analysis on what I've mentioned on the same. Let me begin with Blue Smile this time, Ron.
Okay, so it's very unfortunate that we are seeing the cases of young pupils losing their lives in schools. A school should be a safe place or a safe space where the security of your child is guaranteed. That's why parents wake up early in the morning, send their children to school, because they're not sending their children to school so that they can die in those premises. And a school, being a government body or an entity that is part of the government and the Ministry of Education, should guarantee parents security. And so unfortunate, we've had people dying, but we couldn't. No one would, in their wildest of their minds, would even think that such a case can happen in a school. So government should really work on that, and investigations to be done. Not that I have any power to ask them to do any investigation, but as a Kenyan of goodwill who is actually equally devastated with that scenario, I will actually call on the government to speed in and hasten the investigations. On other matters, maybe on the other matters of sodomy and stuff, that's so unfortunate. But let me talk about capitation here. You see, there were talks that actually were going on last time that probably the government does not have the muscles to fund free education. But of course, we like what is popular, and it is the problem with this country. We like popular things. When we say that we will fund free education, or we are able to fund free education, it might look popular, because right now, even with politicians start to say, in the Mashinani, that I'm from Mashinani, so I can actually brag and brag. I can actually speak about Mashinani and brag that I was there. So in Mashinani, the politics in Mashinani, there are politics of bursaries. There are politics of education. Politics that vote for me because I will pay for your kids' school fees. So you see, sometimes I even think that these capitations, the delay in capitation, there are actually many hands that are trying to delay this capitation so that MPs and MCAs can get political mileage. But nevertheless, you see, with this politics of bursaries and politics of poverty, we are getting ourselves in such a situation that we have to live a lie. The president or whoever is in charge of the education system has to tell you a lie, and for you to believe a lie, so that you can actually maybe like them or not hate them much than you hate them right now. You see, you see now.
Oh my God. Like you're told what you want to hear.
Yeah, I just want to hear, because probably if I tell you that we actually do not have the money, because right now the economy is in bad, is not doing right. You hate us already, but you will hate us more, and we do not want that.
But you know why Kenyans do that? Because the CS, Treasury CS, says he has the authority to, bring up a budget of something that comes up. So kuna pesa ya imetengwa mahali ya vitu zenye zina come up, and there's also the spendthrift nature of our leaders. We have them spending extravagantly. We have them having tea allowances of up to 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And you see, we've also had situations where they vouch for an increase in their salaries. And someone is vouching for a salary of around 1 million Kenyan shillings, and clearly they're doing, okay, they're not doing nothing, but what they're doing is not worth that 1 million Kenyan shillings. Because someone who, let's say, a teacher goes to work, he needs to prepare tip pads. Is it? Oh my God, I'm a very the tip pads, lesson plans. They have to stand for around 8 hours teaching, and getting angry with students who are sometimes even rejecting them. What do we call this word? When a child ameanza, they are repelling and they just wanakata vitu. So that teacher is working from 8 to 4 p.m., sometimes going even to evening preps and all that. That person is paid 50,000 shillings. Na hiyo ujaanza kutoa SHA, ujaanza kutoa sijui shaf, ujatoa hata housing levy. That person works for 8 hours. This other person, okay, there are days when they're in session for around. Just think about that. And this person is vouching for 1 million shillings.
I get you, but now we are talking about we've gone away from low capitation to talking about inequalities. There will always be inequalities, by the way. And I think the problem here is we've always budgeted more for education, even during Kibaki's time. But even during Kibaki's time, the teachers used to go to strike, on strike. Uhuru's time, we had the best budget because we had the 4 agendas, and one was education. And the budget was there immensely for education. But still, people used to complain. Capitation was... The
problem is not the budget. The problem is release of funds.
No, I'm getting there. Now, the problem, even with budgets, we budgeted them, and the Minister of Education and the Treasury put a lot of funds there. But still, the problems are persisting. We need to come as a nation now, ask ourselves, do we really have the muscles for this thing? Because it is good on paper. By the way, many things in Kenya are very good on paper, and most of us are, let me don't point that because I'll be attacked by Ojwang. But there's a lot of disillusion in this nation that because something is working in another country, that it has to work. But there are a lot of factors that are actually not working for us. And one is the Ministry of Education itself and the Treasury. A lot of money in this, there's a culture in this country where a lot of unbudgeted things usually happen, and people usually take money from the ministry that are actually budgeted for certain things and are actually put in certain unbudgeted projects. And this is where we have these deficiencies, and we are told that teachers have to wait, doctors have to wait, and these are the problems. And it is a problem that we need to look at it wholesomely, because even if we complain and put these things every day, probably they won't change, because it was very sad to see students going back home because there was no money to actually put them back in school. So it is a problem that has to be looked, and it's good that we can complain all we want and things don't change. But if we look for solutions, not just complaining, look for solutions. Where is the problem? If money is budgeted for education, it has to go to schools. Accountability, it will actually help, but complaining, it won't help.
All right, we have several issues we are taking opinions on. Don't attack first.
Education.
Give us your opinion first.
I don't attack. I don't know why people are afraid. People are afraid of things that are not there. Even before you speak, you are afraid you will be attacked. You are not seeing that point could be very important for someone back in Mashinani, but you've overlooked all that because you'll be attacked. No, we should be bolder than that, guys. Education. One of my best and most favorite quotes in education or uneducation, I learned for the very first time in Kasarani Stadium, 2012, when I was being commissioned as a 2012 Wings to Fly scholar under Equity Groom Foundation and MasterCard Foundation. and it is from Nelson Mandela, that it is only through education that the child of a peasant or a farm worker can be a president of a great nation. That line, I've seen it live first and foremost, and in this case, on a hustler. Someone who claims to have sold Z-maize. But, ya kuchoma inaitwaje mahindi? Mahindi ya kuchoma. And
roasted maize.
Yes. And from there, graduated from grains to chicken. He becomes father of eggs. From there, he graduates from chicken to Weston, a hotel where you can get this byproduct. It is because of education. Where does this same guy learn politics? He is in UON. In UON, he is in Noret. I'm talking about President William Ruto. It's 1982. He's in Noret, North Rift Evangelistic Team. And he gets a girl from KU by the name Rachel. It is because of education. That is why at some point Babu Owino was so bitter with how education levels are deteriorating. Everything is deteriorating under someone who used education to get to where he is. Even if teachers went on strike during the Kibaki regime, let's start from Moi regime. Nilienda shule kidogo hapo hivyo. Bado watoto walikuwa wanakuwa encouraged kuenda shule. Kulikuwa mpaka maziwa ya Nyayo, kulikuwa na chakula inaitwa Supro. Watu walikuwa wanataka kuenda shule. Na wachache wenye walikuwa wanakataa kuenda shule walikuwa wanapelekwa kwa chief. Kibaki came. Hata kama bado walimu wanaendelea kugoma, he ensured that we have free primary education, gave power to chiefs. Chief alikuwa wanashika watu kwa vijiji. One of the reasons kwa nini nyanyangu alinirudisha kwa mamangu time alichoka na mimi, it was because chief alimwambia mtoto lazima aende shule kila siku, na asipoenda shule ati yako mstuni amelala tutakushika. So education was that powerful. All these are in my moment of believe become. Bado tujamalizia kitabu chenyewe. But community ilikuwa inajua mtoto wangu asipoenda shule huyu atajam, si ndio? Just like the way siku hizi huwezi chapa mtoto wa wenyewe. Kitambo neighbor alikuwa na haki ya kuensure mimi nimeenda shule. Nikiwa hiyo shule hata nitandikwe na mtoto. Back then walimu hata hawakuaga na mashida mingi hizi za repelling. Juu mtoto alikuwa akipigwa viboko viwili, aende home akalie, "Hey teacher, unatoa nguo zingine 3" and you start recollecting. Kwani hao watu wanichukia aje wote? And you start changing your mind, changing your mindset. Na unabadilika. Today walimu wanagoma, hiyo ni constant. Or time ya Uhuru, we know things that zime happen concerning education, right? You guys are here on campus because of that regime, now that you are born in the regime of Kibaki. Time ya Ruto, walimu bado wanagoma. Time ya Ruto, saa hii tunaongea tunachambua magazeti. In the month of August, it's still the same month my mother was going all through these things. So si vitu za kitambo. The same month before watoto wafunge, walifunga mapema kwa sababu hakuna pesa. Saa hizo wamefungua, wengine wanasema, ni kama tunafunga hii shule, hatuna pesa. Lakini bado watu wanalipa pesa. Pesa zinaenda wapi? Kitu cha kwanza, moral question, indiscipline and lack of financial literacy. Pesa za education zitawacha kupelekwa kwa education, isemekane mahali governor anaimpichiwa, wabunge wakapewa 5 million.
Okay.
Na wabunge watumie huko chini waseme pesa zetu za basari Raila ndio wamekatalia nazo in the name of NGCDF. Yet we had someone who said pesa ziende shule, masomo ya kuwe free. We can still do that saizi. Kenya is not a country of poor people if you have to have 6,000 for you to register SHA. If you have to have at least 50,000 for you to go to campus, Kenya is not a poor country.
All right. Now, our time is really... Muda umeisha.
Muda umeyoyoma.
Umeyoyoma. So, allow me read a few comments here. We have someone saying, looking gorgeous, as usual, Sylvia. Thank you. And also we have, let me be a girl for once. And also we have someone saying, the dimple is fading is crazy. I guess this is referring to Sakaja. Yeah. That was that. So that marks, we have you to tell the viewers bye, only bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Let me begin with the John.
I am so happy today by the level of politics we are having. We may not have politicians with goodwill, But the fact that the politicians are setting standard and limits of, you are not so powerful because you are a governor, you can be impeached, means the future is brighter and better for this country.
Na mlangu ni kwa mijikenda wenzangu, tuna tamasha la chenda chenda litakalofanyika tarehe 9 mwezi wa Kwale. Kwa hivyo tuje kwa wingi, tujitokeze, tusherekee umijikenda wetu sisi kama wapwani.
Thank you. Now, until next time, that is next week, it is goodbye from us.